everyone, my name is Light, and welcome back to Renegades SMP. Alright folks, it is episode 2, and in case you haven't seen episode 1, in that episode we found a cubbyhole. Alright, so we're here in the cubbyhole. We found an iron vein. It starts here, then it goes up here. We swam for a bit. And then finally, we found a place to call home. Absolutely incredible. All right, folks. Now, if you haven't seen that episode, I will go ahead and I'll put a card up in the corner, and that should be appearing right about now. So you can go ahead, check that out, see how all that went down. We had a lot of fun. Yeehaw! Now, for today's episode, folks, we definitely have a lot to do. So we're going to go, first of all, we're going to have a look at the sussy igloo that I mentioned last time. We're absolutely going to have a look at that. However, I was doing some mining in between these episodes, just digging the stairs down to the bottom of the world, which took forever. But on the way down, I found a couple things that I want to show you guys. So if you give me a moment, I'm going to get back over to the right spot, and I'll meet you there. See you in a bit. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, in between episodes, I was working in this area. This little house is actually where I'm keeping, most of my goods for now until we, start working on our own place and build an actual storage to put stuff in. But I was working in this area, and I could hear nothing but spiders. And I mean, it sounded like a bunch of spiders. Not just one. It sounded like, 3, 4, 5, even more at times. And no matter where I went, every time I came back, there was the persistent noise of spiders in this area. So, I got curious. So I came down here, and I decided to do some digging in this wall right here. And that's why we have this little bit of an entrance. So if we go in here, I was coming along here. Now, this cobblestone is stuff that I placed, so don't pay any attention to that. I dug over here, I came up here, and then I found this. This cobblestone is not something I had placed. Look at this, guys. A spider spawner. Literally right here, right underneath the village. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if all goes well, this will be one of our projects today to turn this into an actual string farm. I'm not going to be using it for spider eyes. I really don't care about those. I just want to get the strings so we could use that to make scaffolding, which we can in turn use for fuel. Yeah, so in case you didn't know, scaffolding is fantastic fuel, guys, and it's really cheap to make, as long as you can get your hands on some bamboo. All right. Now, I haven't looked in the chests. I thought I'd save that. We can have a look now, so let's check this one. Ooh, not bad. Couple buckets. I'll take those. And the gunpowder. A few pieces of redstone. Happy about that. I don't care about the rest of that stuff. I'll grab the chest later. And in this one, we got... Hey, a book. Oh, efficiency 1. Aw, seriously? Blah. Well, maybe we can unenchant it, use the book for something else. I will, however, we'll take the string. And, of course, we'll take the bones. The beetroot seeds can stay here. We'll gather that later when we take the chest. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Now, this isn't the only thing I found. While I was in here, I decided to come up into this area, and this is actually where I dug the staircase to get right down to the bottom of the world. Ooh, there's a cat in here. He's in there somewhere. Oh, I can hear him. Hee hee. So yeah, I dug this staircase right down to the bottom of the world. Now, while I was going down, let's go down for a little trip here. I'm going to warn you, it's pretty long. This is about 101 blocks, I think this staircase is in total, because I think we start around 99 or 101 or something, and it goes, all the way down to negative 59 or whatever it is. All right, so I came across these two areas. Now, these were just open areas. All I did was plug them off for now. I didn't really explore these spots all that much. And as I kept going, then I came into this area. Now, what's significant about here is when I got here, I got shot by a skeleton. The moment I broke out into here, I immediately got shot by a skeleton. I look over here, and there's 3 of them standing right there, waiting to shoot me. And here's the reason why. Look at this, guys. A skelly spawner. Yeehaw! I was really hoping to find one of these early game because this is an excellent source of bone meal. Now, eventually, we'll build a moss farm, which, as far as I'm concerned, is probably the best source of bone meal in Bedrock today. Either that or one of those, nether-based farms where you do the shaking and get all the things. But yes, a skelly spawner. So happy to find this. So this will probably be another project that we work on for today. Now again, I have not checked the chests, so let's go ahead. We'll do that now. See if there's anything good. Not bad. Gunpowder. Take that. Take the bones and the string, and the the one piece of bread. And the saddle and the beetroot seeds, they can stay. In here, some more gunpowder. Take that. The bread, the string. We got a record. 13. I was hoping for cat. Obviously, it would have had to been green to be cat, but oh well. And, 2 dungeons, but we didn't get the new disc either. I don't want the horse armor. I'll leave that there. All right, folks. So that is actually all I had to show you down here. I won't bother taking you down the rest of the way. That's just my mine down there where I've been getting some resources. So yeah, I'll meet you guys up top, and I have a little book actually that we're going to go through, and we'll talk about today's task list and get to it. See you in a bit. All right, folks, I'm back, and I got the book. So let's take a look inside and see what's on tap. So first things first, like I said, we are definitely going to investigate the igloo that's over on the side of the mountain. After that, I had number 2 as fortify the village. Now I do have some sad news to report. In between episodes, most of the villagers, well, all of them except for one, died from either, a zombie or getting stuck in some powdered snow. So that being said, fortify the village isn't actually too high on our list of things to do anymore. The one thing I am going to do, though, is go around and get rid of the top layer of powdered snow, at least for myself for now, and eventually when we get more villagers in here, they'll be a little more safe to walk around. Now, number 3, get a mending villager. That's definitely high on my list today. If you watch the first episode, you'll know that I have a full set of netherite armor ready to go, but it does need mending, and I will not be wearing it until I get mending on it. So I do have 1 villager left, and I have a lectern, so we're going to spend some time. We'll get that guy selling some mending, meaning that we are going to need something to sell to him, being paper. So we'll have to also set up a sugarcane farm, and in order to power it, we can set up the spawners, namely the skeleton spawner, to use that bone meal. All right, so we definitely have a lot to do today, folks. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll put this book away, and I'll meet you guys over at the igloo and see what we got on the go. All right, see you in a bit. We are just about at the igloo, but before we get there, guys, I thought we'd talk about the varieties that igloos come in. So currently, when you find an igloo, it can either have or not have a hidden chamber. And what's contained in that chamber is actually pretty good. So if you find an igloo early game, that is a huge, huge win. Now, in our case, because we had some recent bad luck, basically losing all but 1 of our villagers, I'm really hoping that this igloo has a hidden chamber, because at this point, it would really help. Now, the bottom of this igloo is exposed, so as we get a little closer, if we see a certain type of brick, then we know exactly what type of igloo we got. So let's go in, we'll check it out. Oh, there it is, over there. Oh, good lord. I missed it totally. All right, but now that we're here, and like I say, we know the bottom is exposed, let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Those are stone bricks. You will not find those underneath an igloo unless it has a hidden chamber. Yes! I was really hoping this would have that chamber, so this is a huge win for us, guys. Now, give me a moment to get inside, and I'm going to show you why this is a huge win. Now that we've made it inside, if all goes well, the hidden chamber is going to be underneath 1 of these pieces of carpet. Now, if I remember correctly, it's typically this one right here. So let's go ahead. We'll give it a whack. Yes! Look at it, guys. Look at the trapdoor. So, open up the trapdoor. Let's head down. There is a ladder, so don't worry about falling. There is a ladder. So here we are, folks. We've made it. This is the hidden chamber of an igloo, where in this chamber you will find a villager and a zombie villager. Now, the whole point of these chambers, guys, is if you find one early game, the place also gives you the supplies to be able to turn this guy back to a villager, giving you 2 villagers. So what I'm saying, guys, not only do we have an igloo with a chamber, we have a built-in villager breeder. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do with this thing. I'm actually going to use this as a villager breeder. So I'll need to figure out, which way points out toward the mountain. We'll cut a hole through the wall. Eventually we'll get some rails. And when we have to, we'll run some villagers from here to wherever they need them. Yeehaw! All right, now let's look in the chest. Now in here, I know there's going to be at least one golden apple, but let's see what else we got. Ooh, yep, there's the golden apple. That's to help you do the villager transformation. We got some coal, some wheat, and some rotten flesh. All in all, not bad. The best thing, of course, being the golden apple. All right, all right. So you know what, guys? I think we should actually go ahead and we should do that. So let's take a look at the brewing stand. Not only do they give you a golden apple, they also give you a splash potion of weakness. So we'll grab that. We'll grab the golden apple. Let's go ahead. We'll give this guy here a splash. But first, you know what? First, I'm going to break out these bars. Just to make sure we hit him. Boom, right in the face. Give him the apple. And now we wait. So in about, 3 to 4 minutes, this guy will turn back to a villager. I'll bring you guys back in then so you can see him. And then we'll get on to our next task. See you in a bit. Yes! And he's done. So as you guys can see, we now have 2 villagers. Like I say, folks, we're actually going to use this as an impromptu villager breeder. Woohoo! Alright, so now that this is done, we have this guy transformed back. I'm going to get back to the book. We'll mark this one off, and we'll move on to number 2. See you in a bit. Alright, folks, we made her back. I got the book, so let's go ahead and we'll make some updates. Alright, so we're going to make a list of notes over here that we'll call our task notes. Now for number 1, because that place had a chamber, we did say that we'll turn that into a villager breeder, so we'll make a note of that. Okay, excellent, excellent. That'll be for a later episode. Now for number 2, the fortify the village. I said earlier on that this was no longer that high on my priority list anymore. And when I say that, I'm talking maybe one aspect of it. I want to put a wall possibly around this village at some point once I repopulate it. However, because we only have the one villager, I really don't see the need for it at this moment. The one thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to go around and I'm going to get rid of all the powdered snow that's around the outskirts, and I'm going to replace that with regular snow, 1, to keep the look, and 2, to make it a little safer, at least for me, for the time being. Now, once I'm done that, I'm going to meet you guys down below. We're going to set up the skelly spawner next, so then we can move on to some sugarcane and the mending villager. See you guys in a bit. Now that the powdered snow is removed, I feel much safer walking around the village, guys. I'll tell you, I am so sick of falling into powdered snow and having to dig my way out. And I really don't want to have to wear leather boots. I know that's the answer, but come on. Seriously, leather boots? Really? Ugh. Anywho, all right, so let's go ahead, guys. We'll update our notes. So for number 2 here, we can say that the powdered snow was removed. And to be continued, since we still have yet to build the wall. That will come at a later date once we get some more villagers inside our compound. All right, now that that's out of the way, so here we are down at the skeleton spawner. This is what we're going to do next. However, I think we're going to do it a little bit differently. Now, it will still end up in a trident killer, and we'll have that, doing all the heavy lifting, killing all the skeletons. We'll obviously, have some hoppers there collecting all the stuff that'll go automatically into a chest. However, how they arrive to the trident killer is what we're going to do a little bit different. So let me go ahead, folks. I'm going to do a little bit of mining here, starting with the standard 9x9. I'll bring you guys all back in when that's done, and then we can take a look. Alright, folks, the first bit of digging is done. Now, before I get to explaining why I dug it this way, I want to show you something I found while I was digging it. So, when I got back into digging this area, I got to this hole. So, I figured, hey, we might as well go explore it, maybe throw down a few torches, make sure there's no mobs. So I'm going through, I come along. Here's another diamond right here, which is fantastic. I'll come back later when we got Fortune 3, we'll mine that up. And then I keep going. I'm going through over here. I get to this room in here. Pretty neat. But I come over here. So first of all, slimes spawn in this area. So let's deal with this guy. All right. Come on. Come on, fellas. Keep coming. Should be one more big one. All right. All right, now I get all the little guys. I got a pile of slime in my inventory from all the guys I've killed already. Ah, perfect. Okay. So, when I got into here, though, I started hearing again a bunch of spiders. And as I jump over here, look at this, guys. Another spider spawner. Literally, like right here. Another spider spawner. So that's 2 that we have near the base now. Now, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to end up doing anything with this one since we got the other one way up above, way closer to the base, but still pretty neat to know that it's here. Now, I have not looked in the chest yet, so let's go ahead and we'll do that now. Aw, boo. Oh, well, I'll take the string. The string will be useful. A few bits of redstone, that'd be all right. A few more bits of redstone. Ooh, name tags. Take a couple name tags, couple ingots, some bones. Okay, so this chest's a little better. All right, anywho, I'm going to go ahead. I will gather up all the stuff in this chest, and I'm going to meet you guys back in the other spawner. All right, folks, we're back in the spawner room, and now let's talk why I dug this the way that I did. All right, so first things first, notice this lovely diamond here in the floor. Again, I'll mine this up when we got some Fortune 3. We'll come back for this. Now, the reason that I dug it in 2 sections like this is so, when the skeletons spawn, there'll be water back here, of course. It'll push them down this way, off of this platform, and down finally into a trench down here. We'll have some water over here, which will push the skeletons over into this corner, where they'll fall down and get mashed up by the Trident Killer. So all that seems pretty standard for now. The reason, though, that I've made it kind of long is because of this little cubby hole right back here. So this, folks, is actually going to be the AFK spot for the player. It'll be encased with some glass, and in here as well, up here, there'll be a lever which will actually control a redstone lamp that'll be attached directly to the spawner. That will allow the user to turn the farm on and off at will. Yeehaw! So we're going to have to dig a hallway, of course, going down here, which will let us get into the AFK room, and that hallway will also let us get into the Trident Killer room, which is going to be down in here. Now, I do have some more mining to do in order to make all that happen, so I'm going to go ahead, I'll get that done, and I'll bring you guys back in when we're ready to start laying in the mechanical bits. Yeehaw! Coming close, guys, coming close. And with that, the digging is done. So now we have this lovely hallway, which takes us down to what's going to be the AFK spot, so right into here. And as well, we have an access area to get down into what we'll call for now, the cellar. All right, so let me flip these open. Yep, we go down the stairs here, and this is where we're going to have our Trident Killer and anything else that we may want to put in the room. All right, so now it is time for the mechanical bits, folks, and I think the first thing that we're actually going to put in is the redstone lamp that goes on top of the spawner. All right, now this is going to be tricky. We are going to need to take out the block that is directly above the spawner, so I believe that's this one right here. So that's perfect. We'll leave that right there. Now, staying in line with the spawner, we need to get up into there. So we want to be at least 1 block up in the ceiling. So now that means we need to take out 2 more. Here, we should come to the hole that we made. All right, perfect. There we go. There's the spawner right down there. All right, so directly on top of the spawner, we want the redstone lamp. And on top of the redstone lamp, we're going to need a block. There's going to be a piece of redstone dust that comes down onto this block, which is going to provide the power to the lamp. And now we need to go back this way. All right, perfect, guys, perfect. All right, so we'll hop down. So redstone torch here, just like that. Now on top of this redstone torch, we're going to need a block. So let's hope we can place that and we land on top of it. Nah, I didn't think so. That's okay. We'll just take out a few blocks right here. Make our way up. Some dust there, like that. Let's see if we can run it all the way. Perfect. All right. So that is excellent. That's exactly what we want. All right, and if we look, our redstone lamp should be on. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, now we need to go put in our lever so we can make it automatic. Well, manually automatic. All right, so if we give this a flick, the light should turn off. Just like that. Perfect. So now this will allow us to, whenever we want, either turn off or turn on the spawner, as long as you know we're here in the AFK spot. All right, now we'll head down into here. Let's go set us up a Trident Killer. All right, so the first thing I'm going to put in is actually some chests and some hoppers. So this little block here that I have cut out, that's actually for the hoppers. So one there, one there, one there, one there. All the hoppers are going to be pointing this way, which is where the chests are going to be. So I'm also going to need to take out this block here, 2 more hoppers. Again, still pointing this way so we can put them in the chests. And in here, we want some chests. Double here, double here. Okay, perfect. Now the kill area is actually going to be centered around these 4 hoppers right here. Next, we're going to need our pistons and our observers. All right, now normally when I'm laying out a Trident Killer, I would start usually with the first piston right here. However, this time I'm going to start with the piston right here, and I'll explain why once we get everything built up. So we're going to put one there, one there, one there, and one there. All right. So now we'll go ahead and we'll put in our observers. Now the observer is going to be, you're still doing the same thing, except you're doing it backwards. So pointing out, pointing in, except you're going the opposite way. Pointing out, pointing in, pointing out, pointing in. Just like that. Perfect. Now the lever that we're going to need, we're going to put this right here. And this is actually the reason why I wanted the piston set up this way, so I could specifically put the lever right here. That's because when the skeletons come down, they're going to fall through this chute. They're going to land in this hole right here. And if I didn't, if I didn't have the Trident Killer on and everything wasn't running, this piston would be the one stuck out, meaning the skeletons could fall in and still have some spots to go. And, and then eventually once we come down and turn on the killer, it would start up a little quicker than it would if we had some skeletons stuck on top of the piston. All right. So now that we have that like that, let's grab our trident. We'll throw that in. So any piston, doesn't matter. Okay, now that that's in, let's give the lever a flick. That primes the Trident Killer. We flick it again. As we can see, everything works, goes around exactly like it should. Perfect. All right. Now, at this point, we are going to need a slab. That's going to go right here. Next, grab some glass. We're going to line the Trident Killer with some glass. So piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here, here, and here. I'm actually going to use solid blocks in the corners, and that's going to be deep slate. All right, and there we have it, folks. One Trident Killer, all built up and ready to go. All right, guys, well, that's it for this room. So now let's head back up into the spawner room. We can get our water in, and then we can get this show on the road. All right. All right, so I'm just going to break out 3 blocks here, go back another 3. Oh, look. How convenient. How convenient is that? Kind of matches these lovelies right here. How awesome is that, guys? How awesome is that? You dig in to form a water source? Diamonds. Sweet. Thanks, Minecraft. All right, so we'll take out these 3 right here. Bucket of water over here. Bucket of water over here. That creates the infinite water source. Now, with this type of infinite water source, it is imperative that you take your new buckets from the middle and the middle only. if you take a source from one of the sides over here, it will break it and it'll become completely flowing. All right, now finally, the last thing to do is build up this little bit of wall, and then we can give it a test. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll get that done, and I'll meet back up with you guys when we're ready to go. Yeehaw! All right, folks, the wall's in place. You can hear the Trident Killer running. All we need to do is flick the switch, and it's game on. So let's give it a whirl. All right, so we can already see a lucky skeleton coming in. So there he goes, down into the trench. Now we should see him go across. And he'll fall down into the hole over there in the corner, into the Trident Killer. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Ah. Now, another good thing for having it back this far is it actually gets the skeletons at a range of the spawner, so they can actually spawn quicker. So that's another reason I like doing it this way, in case you guys were wondering, in case you were, had a question about that. But yeah, so this thing is in operation, folks. All right, so I'm going to stay here for a little while. I'm going to gather some bone meal. When all that's done, I'll meet you guys back up top so we can work on the mending villager. See you in a bit. Yeehaw! All right, folks, made it back up top, but unfortunately, we're out of time for today. This episode is actually running a little longer than I expected, so I'm going to end it here. So next time we come back, we will definitely start with the mending villager and get on to some of the other tasks that we never completed this time around. Plus we'll see what else we got on the go. But that being said, that is all I have time for today. Once again, my name is Light, and thanks for stopping by. Bye!